NFL preseason debates countdown. 14 days.
There you have it, guys.
Wow, 2 weeks.
There we
go.
Perloff and I just looked at each other like our eyes just lit up.
Yeah.
2 weeks until the NFL season, Perloff, and the debate series continues. You want to set it up?
Okay. We've actually been arguing about this on and off. New England, not a lot of expectations for the dynasty Patriots. I think head coach Bill Belichick is in actual trouble. I think if they are really bad, I think owner Robert Kraft is getting impatient. He's an older gentleman. I think that there actually could be some smoke here that the end of the Belichick reign is coming near if the Patriots are bad.
I 100% disagree with that. Bill Belichick, age 71, and this could be, I don't want to say the comeback season here for the Patriots, but if they are competitive, like even if they miss the playoffs by a shade because they're playing in a really tough, not just AFC East, but AFC, even if they miss the playoffs by like a game or something, I don't think that's enough to make them part with Belichick. And I don't think the Patriots are going to be a train wreck this year. What about the Patriots says this is going to be a disaster? If anything, they are making up from the mistakes that they made a year ago. They fixed a lot of those mistakes from a year ago. They have a real offensive coordinator in now. Maybe Mac Jones actually looks like a competent quarterback. And that might fix a lot of what was ailing them. The defense was still good last year. It was the offense that was broken.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it sounds like a lot would have to come together. So you think if, let's say they're 7-10. I think
7-10. That's
where are they going? What's the point? Why would you keep Belichick?
Well,
just to keep going 7-10, 8-9 for the rest of your life.
But how do you know that changing coaches is going to get you any closer? Like, are you 7-10 because the rest of the division is so good? Or are you 7-10 because that's your actual talent level?
Well, if you're 7-10 with Mac Jones a quarterback this year, then you must think, okay, well, next year's just going to get worse. We'll be 6-11. Like, I just think that Robert Kraft is a guy who's used to winning. He doesn't want just a slow decline into mediocrity. And you're saying that they don't make the playoffs. That's mediocre by definition, sort of middle of the pack. I think the middle of the pack stuff is getting old because doesn't seem like, I don't see the upside or the hope that they're going to be elite again. It just doesn't feel, I don't see the path to them getting back to the Super Bowl.
Well, I think you have to hope, if you're a Patriots fan, you've got to hope that Tyquan Thornton, the wide receiver, takes like a step forward and can have good chemistry with Mac Jones. You got to really hope that the running game is going to be solid, like it has been with Ramondre Stevenson, and they obviously signed Zeke Elliott, so we'll see if he has anything left in the tank. And they still have Hunter Henry, so they can have a competent offense here, and then the defense is still good. I mean,
you have a division with Tyreek Hill, Garrett Wilson, and Stephon Diggs, and you're trying to sell me Tyquan Thornton?
I did
you
try
might
to
as well
sell you
fire Belichick right now. If that's what you got.
Smith-Schuster.
You're like, well, we'll see if Tyquan Thornton's chemistry with Mac Jones, really, that's what you're bringing a water gun to a real gunfight here, Maggie.
I could have said Devontae Parker, and you would have laughed me out of the building. I mean, listen, yes, I don't know.
Not only that, like, their defense is good, but it's funny because other than Matthew Judon, does anyone know any of the players? Maybe is Uche still there? Like, they're just a no-name, well-coached unit who is battling to be 500. I just don't think Robert Kraft sees the upside.
I think you've heard of Lawrence Guy, right? Gottschall.
Oh, yeah.
You know
listen,
Gottschall.
I have three Lawrence Guy jerseys. What do you mean I've heard of Lawrence Guy? Who the hell is Lawrence Guy? I mean, this is a no-name. They basically slowly become a complete generic nothing franchise.
Okay, but a Belichick coach defense is always going to be a good defense. And whether you know the guys on there or not, he has definitely earned that. There's one other thing about Belichick, and that is his place in history, I mean, is solidified. But in terms of like the actual numbers, 19 wins away, Perloff, from becoming the all-time leader in wins for a head coach in the NFL, to pass Don Shula. So is that important, do you think, at all to the Patriots for him to break that record in a hoodie on the sidelines at Gillette?
It's a great question. I see your point. It's a really good point. How many does he
19.
Yeah, I guess it depends how they do this year. Because if they really fall off and they're 5 or 6, then it's going to be like, oh, we're not going to wait 4 years for that. I think they have to have a winning season. Otherwise, I mean, you really think that he's got a lifetime pass here?
I don't know if it's a lifetime pass, but I mean, listen.
How do you not?
I think he
Well, I mean, Tom Landry didn't have a lifetime pass, and
he has 6 Super Bowl titles in 20 years.
Also, they picked him over Brady, so it's a little.
And he spurned the Jets in the process.
Well, I mean,
you also shot
so would
down your
anybody.
rival.
But I think that he does get the pass. I wonder if at some point do they try to I don't know. Bring someone for the front office.
Nobody gets a lifetime pass in the NFL. Even the great coaches end up at the end falling apart. I mean, Vince Lombardi. Vince Lombardi didn't retire a Packers coach. He retired a Washington coach.
Yep.
No, and they might try to nudge, wink, wink. Hey, listen, why don't you resign? It's over. I don't think Robert Kraft will ever come out and fire Bill Belichick.
I don't know. Tom Curran, who's the best Patriots reporter there, has said that he's really on the hot seat and has been since Brady left.
Okay, but
that's crazy to me.
No, I believe Tom's reporting. I also think that Kraft is a bit of not a saber rattler. I think he's someone who sends messages through the media, either him or his son, whoever's given the information. I think that they like to send that type of message.
Right. The message is we're going to get rid of you if you can't start winning again. I mean, what's the point of watching this all just fizzle out for years? This could be a major mediocre run.
Okay, but what if it's 9-8? What if they sneak into the wild card in a very tough
I mean, they do have
AFC.
They do have Lawrence Guy.
I mentioned Gotcha, all right?
So here's the question: is it going to be a major mediocre run because of Belichick?
Stu calls him Larry Guy.
Larry Guy,
and his middle name is The Cable.
So not right. That's so mean.
It just feels like there is no
Dietrich Wise. Anybody?
I feel like they're they're just a low voltage team. Yeah, you're right. They could be good because Belichick will coach them up.
Yeah.
And they'll find ways to
They'll be
win.
Smart.
They'll do things like that.
Although they weren't last year.
That game against Buffalo where Mac Jones threw 4 passes.
Yeah, 2 years ago.
They'll special teams their way to a winner here or there. But it just doesn't feel like, honestly, you see a path back to the Super Bowl. I just don't see it. And I think Kraft is sensitive to the fact that Tom Brady won elsewhere. Just, I don't know. You're right. He does deserve a lifetime pass. But Kraft's 82. He's not going to want his final years to be a run of 4 straight 7 wins.
6 Super Bowls. I mean, he's up the value of this franchise by probably 500%.
And if they're mediocre, it's not because of Belichick. Maybe Belichick, the GM, maybe they say, hey, listen, we're going to bring in an actual GM. But they're not going to be mediocre because of Belichick. They're going to be mediocre because they have mediocre talent.
I mean, last year was bad. There's no sugarcoating that. Last year was bad. He put 2 people who should not have been an offensive coordinator, or Matt Patricia, Joe Judge combination was terrible. I mean, he's got his son out there on the defensive side, and he's one of the coaches. One of the coaches.
More ornamental, but yeah. I think he was co-defensive coordinator with the former linebacker.
D'Amico.
Guy with not D'Amico Ryans.
Gerard Mayo.
Gerard Mayo.
So.
But they were 8-9 last year. They were 10-7 the year before, and they were 7-9 the year before.
So
they're starting to be pretty consistent, or right around the same win total.
Well, I mean, they had to do something in terms of quarterback, and they decided to go with Mac Jones. He had a good rookie season,
definitely,
and then he took a step back his second year, and I don't think all of that's his fault. And now let's see what happens this year in year 3.
I don't see a lot of optimism out there, and it's just the media. But I'm not hearing anyone who's excited about Mac Jones.
It's so funny. As Perloff is saying this, there's a banner that's up in the TV in our studio that says SI predicts Pats will win the AFC East.
And you were saying Bill Simmons predicted that too?
Yeah, Bill Simmons. But Bill is, the ultimate Boston homer.
I could be totally wrong. Are you telling me that they're going to beat the Jets, the Dolphins, and the Bills?
I'm not telling you that, but I think that the Patriots are going to be it wasn't a train wreck last year, but they've cleaned up a lot of the self-inflicted wounds from a year ago. So I do not think Belichick's on the hot seat, to get back to our debate.
So you think you're going to bet the over on them?
What's their win total?
I think they're 7.5. They won 8 last year, so I assume they should improve on that. I don't know. I feel, part of it is circumstance. That division is crazy. That's it for all these teams. Your Bills, your Jets. Of all the great news coming out of the Jets camp, they still, they have to face Miami twice. It's just it's almost unfair. Spread some of that talent to the NFC and give your teams a chance.
This schedule for the Patriots is brutal to start off against your Philadelphia Eagles. Aren't they retiring? They're doing something with Brady.
That's a Brady game.
Yeah.
Right?
Retiring to Jersey.
Oh, sorry. 6.5 wins for the Pats this year.
Yeah, I'd go over. Philadelphia, Miami, but both are at home. Then at Samter's New York Jets, at the Dallas Cowboys, New Orleans, Vegas, then Buffalo, at Miami, Washington, Indy before your bye. Then after the bye, yikes. Giants, Chargers, Pittsburgh Steelers, Kansas City, Denver, Buffalo, Jets. Whoa.
What?
That is a hard schedule.
That's like a tour of bad weather cities, too.
Goodness.
It's like, hey, can you show me a former industrial town with very cold winters and lots of snow? Here you go. Here's the Patriots schedule.
Enjoy the tour. I mean, you don't have to travel very much. I guess that's a positive.
Oh, man,
But
this is tough.
I guess add Denver. Anyway.
I would love it, by the way. If the Patriots were great and won that division, that would be awesome.
Because it would be the thing no one saw coming.
Yeah,
I guess Sports
then
Illustrated.
we can all agree that Bill Belichick is the greatest coach ever. If he wins this AFC East this year, he's the greatest coach of all time.
He already is the greatest coach of all time.
I don't know.
Who do you have? Parcells?
Paul Brown, Bill Walsh are right there, Lombardi.